Are you feeling the subtle pressure of unwritten rules as you navigate later life? From the expectation to retire gracefully, to assumptions about how you should spend your time, with family, hobbies, or endless travel. These hidden scripts shape so many of our choices without us even noticing. But what if you could rewrite them? This video isn't about rejecting tradition, it's about reclaiming autonomy and designing a later life that reflects you, not everyone else's idea of who you should be. One of the strangest shifts in later life isn't physical, it's social. Without warning, the world begins to speak to you differently. Friends drop subtle hints about slowing down. Family members nudge you toward being more available. The media paints a glossy picture of the golden years, all beaches, golf carts, and grandkids. These messages can be comforting until they become cages. Suddenly you find yourself asking, am I supposed to want this? That question matters, because if we don't name these subtle pressures, they quietly shape our lives, and sometimes steer us away from what we truly want. There's an unwritten script for later life, and it's surprisingly specific. It says, retire at 65, travel, stay active, babysit grandkids, take up gardening, be endlessly available for everyone else. And if you don't follow it, you might hear whispers. Why are you still working? Aren't you supposed to slow down? Why can't you just enjoy life now? But here's the thing. Productivity doesn't have to be replaced with performative busyness. You are allowed to choose a path that has nothing to do with anyone else's expectations. The key is learning to recognize which desires are truly yours and which were quietly handed to you by others. The key is learning to recognize which desires are truly yours and which were quietly handed to you by others. This is where autonomy becomes non-negotiable. Reclaiming your later life means reclaiming your right to say no, even to well-meaning loved ones. It means setting boundaries that protect your time, energy, and passions. You don't owe anyone a version of yourself that fits their comfort zone. And paradoxically, honoring your own path often strengthens your relationships because people get to know you, not just the role you were expected to play. So, how do you begin? Start small. Explore interests that spark curiosity, even if they seem unconventional or unproductive. Consider second-act careers, creative projects, or volunteer work that align with your values. Find communities that celebrate exploration, not just preservation. Real people are doing this every day. A retired nurse who became a wildlife photographer, a former accountant who started a podcast about reinvention, a grandparent who moved abroad to learn a new language. They are proof that the most vibrant chapters can be written after everyone thinks the book is done. The beauty of later life is this: you are finally free to live without a script, free from deadlines, metrics, or job titles, free from the pressure to prove your worth. That kind of freedom can feel unsettling at first, but it's also where peace begins. And when you choose authenticity over expectation, you quietly give others permission to do the same. This is not the epilogue, it's the unwritten chapter, and it's entirely yours to define. The unwritten rules of later life aren't laws, they're just echoes. You get to decide which ones are worth keeping, and which ones you'll boldly leave behind. So here's your challenge. What's one unwritten rule you'll choose to break this week?